as ever, the question is, which are the right questions to ask? And so, you know me, I'm going to use the tarot to find out, first of all, which questions we're going to ask before we even worry about which answers we're going to get. So here are 3 questions for the month of February. And we want them upright. So for these 3 cards, I'm going to say this. Question 1, we have the Tower. What needs to be purged? What needs to come out in the wash? What needs to be expressed? Justice. What do we need to think about carefully and be fair about? And Wheel of Fortune. What might be beyond our control in February? Or what might feel like it's beyond our control? Let's put down some cards. Please give us 3 cards for the month of February. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this reading seems to me quite eloquent, quite clear. What needs to be expressed? What needs to come out into the wash? Well, if we have ambitions, if we have enterprise, if there's things that we want to make happen, if there's things that we want to profit by, if there's things that we want to see some good come out of, some harvest, we're in February, we're not going to see a harvest for a few months yet, are we? But if there's things we want to invest in, new ideas, new relationships, new creativity, just new schemes for making things better, that needs to come out now. We need to no longer bottle it up or hold back. Make a move. Pick up the phone, do some research, think it over, but do something, okay? And let's go to the other side here. What might feel a bit out of control. And with Wheel of Fortune, for me, I read that as a feeling of things being out of control. Things are, in a sense, always a bit out of control, aren't they? Life is bigger than us, and the Wheel of Fortune is bigger than the individual. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to hell in a handcart, ladies and gentlemen. The Wheel of Fortune is one of those ambiguous cards, clearly. So what might feel like it's out of control? Well, the business itself, and those are quite related, those 2 cards. 3 of Batons, he's looking at the ships going in and out of the estuary and waiting for the ship to come back, or maybe watching his ship go out with the goods that he's going to send to another country, and then he's going to wait for the return, whatever it is. But here we also have ships. We have the person juggling with responsibilities and possibilities and events and people and meetings. This person is very involved in life. In other words, this person got stuck in and made those phone calls and did that research and talked to those people. And that started things happening, and there were consequences. And so the person called him back, and now he's got to deal with it, okay? But this is a joyful card. It's a card of dancing and juggling. And here on the sea, there are ships going out and coming in. They look like they're about to capsize, but we shouldn't take that too seriously. That's what the sea is like. So I think that's kind of like, it's an encouragement to be brave and to be proactive and to be enterprising. And it's also a gentle warning that maybe we should, what's the word? Slightly fasten our seatbelts. You know, if we are going to uncork the bottle of our energies and our dreams and our ambitions, there might be a slightly fasten your seatbelts moment in the month, okay? But, you know, you got to live, haven't you, really? So it's nothing too dreadful. Now, in the middle of this reading, there's something a little bit more mysterious. Here we are. And what I'm getting, ladies and gentlemen, is Freddie Mercury in drag with a Hoover singing I Want to Break Free. So I'll give you a couple of lines of that. I've actually got a cold. I want to break free. I want to break free. Want to break free from your lies. You're so self-satisfied. I don't need you. I've got to break free. Sorry, but you know, I've got to have fun. It's not just all about you. So here we have the Devil card, in which there are two little demons who are, you know, they've got these chains around their necks and they're attached to the devil's beastly sort of concrete block here by means of a chain and ring and so forth. But it's, I mean, what's famous about this card is that the chains are very loose. You can't see it terribly well in this version because the designer Robin Ator has simplified things so much, but the chains around the necks are loose, and the what is said is that these chains can easily be taken off. So the parable of this card is the subtext of this card is that if we are enslaved to something, if we're addicted to something, it's because we've bought into it. And this is a kind of servitude or a kind of imprisonment, which is on some level of our own choosing. You know, you could say, okay, it's a neurosis, it's an addiction, it's a belief system, which we could see through. So we can always take this halter. Is it called a halter? We can take these chains off if we want to, so we can break free. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we had reverse devil. And reversals are interesting, aren't they? What do they mean? Well, we can be creative about them. And I think in this case, it's the desire to shake off the devil energy experience, to shake off what is symbolized by this card. And that's why I sang the Freddie Mercury song, I Want to Break Free. And you might remember the question. The question was, what must we think about carefully and weigh up and be fair about? Okay. So if there's something we want to break free of, fine. Can't be a bad thing. But What about the manner of breaking free of it? That should be fair, shouldn't it? The breaking free should not cause more damage than it corrects. Should not cause more damage than it heals. So if you want to break free in February, I think take a deep breath, and the Justice card is a card of intelligence, I think. We've all got a noodle, haven't we? That's a UK expression for a brain. Use your noodle. Just have a think. Just take a deep breath. Look around you to right and left. Just look before you leap, really. Weigh it all up. And then break free. And I think it's all connected, really, because these two cards are joyful and enterprising cards in which energy is expressed. That was there, wasn't it? I mean, the desire to create a better life, the desire to do a little business, make a little profit, whether that's literally business and profit or metaphorically. And that's a kind of a push, isn't it? That's an expression of desire, need, oomph, get up and go, a little bit of fieriness. And those energies do come from the devil, in a sense. They come from our instinctual nature. We have an instinct. We have an instinctual drive to live, don't we? And to go out and hunt for our dinner or hunt for our partner or whatever it is we're hunting for. But it's to go out and grab, isn't it, the devil? To grab what is desired. And I think that is also what is here, the desire for a better life. The drive to live, the drive to thrive, ladies and gentlemen. Let's finish by drawing one of my lovely, lovely homemade antidepressive cards. They're kind of my homemade version of the angel cards. Each one is just something nice because we deserve it. And these are not exactly predictions. They're partly predictions. They might be predictions, but they're also things that we can ask for or things that we can look out for and just be aware of, that these things exist in the world, and we do exist in a good world. We do live in a good world. So here's an antidepressive card to round off our reading for February. There. Insight. Let us devoutly hope that the spirit guides send us insight in the month of February as we rush round, breaking free and improving our lives. I'm Robert Farah. You have been watching Tea and Tarot, and I'll see you next week with more of this stuff. Bye.